What's going on, people? It's your man, Filth of the Earth, Masses TV, and we got a proper demonic one for you, man, right now, regarding this shaitan here. Her name's Lindsay Clancy. I'd never heard of her until some proper diabolical things have happened, right? This woman rubs out her 3 children with an exercise band, yeah? Come on. Crazy as it is, that's not where we wouldn't have necessarily heard about this until what happens next. She's in trial, and you've now got, she's raised $1 million. She's got all the FemTards cheering for her. Tribalism has reached a pinnacle. Yeah, it don't matter. Whatever subsect is, I'm not even sure you could call it. They claim it's being, we're being, what's the word? We're being scapegoated. It's a woman, so she must be right. Or it's a black man, he must be right. Or it's a white man, he must be right. No one's got any objectivity. I don't care. Man, woman, black, white, beast, dog. Wrong is wrong. They've raised $1 million for her. Here's a clip of her getting taken to trial. Thousands of them out there. You'd think it was Michael Jackson. Oh, pause. He was I don't know, let's not talk about Michael Jackson. But you get the point. Some celebrity, Justin Bieber, was there. Yeah? Now, let's get to the case. And let's get into the weeds of this situation. Because I ain't trying to hear none of it. To tell the God's honest truth. Here we go. Come on. Bosh.
Lindsay Clancy. A Massachusetts woman accused of strangling her 3 children to death is on trial right now. Here's what you need to know. Her name is Lindsay Clancy, a 35-year-old former labor and delivery nurse from Duxbury, Massachusetts.
These nurses be crazy. We had one in the UK as well, Lucy Letby. Yeah? Listen, let me tell you this now. Conspiratardacy, they're saying she didn't do it as well, right? None of them did it. Come on, man. Yeah? None of them did it, apparently. Right? But the minute you took them off the ward, not that this was her own kids, Lindsay Clancy, but Lucy Letby, the minute she went off the ward, it all stopped. Make that make some sense. Conspiratardacy and the internet. Listen, I wasn't there. Yeah, and ultimately, it's God's job to judge them. I don't particularly feel any way. You know what I'm saying? It's not my business. But still, we're not doing that. That's what we're definitely not doing. No, come on. I'll show you in a minute. You got all these internet shills, Candace Owens. Oh, hey, bro, it was Big Pharma, bro. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. But anyway, let's carry on with the case.
Lindsay Clancy.
Just quickly as well, look at the eyes, man. That's shaitan. That's a Lilith, right? I can just tell by the eyes. Guilty, man. Guilty. The eyes is dead as hell, man. The eyes is dead as hell, right? We assume she's getting the right treatment now, so why? Come on, she's like this. She should star in the next Exorcist film. Call me a liar, right? Or some paranormal activity type film. Stop playing. You know them ones where it starts in the 1930s. They make movies today about the 1930s in a hospital ward. She'd be one of the nurses that's about to turn into a ghoul. Stop playing, man. Come on. Let's call a spade a spade.
A Massachusetts woman accused of strangling her 3 children to death is on trial right now. Here's what you need to know. Her name is Lindsay Clancy.
This looks dark, man. Well, listen. Oh, you can't convict people on how they look. You know when you see them Somalians? Yeah? Let's call a spade a spade. I'll admit, some of them Somalians, you see them, they're like this. I think there was a boy who did something. Some Somalian boy, right? Lock him up. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, man. The eyes is crazy. They look wicked, right? They look wicked. End of the day, I'm not going to sit here telling fibs, right? I wouldn't trust her to cook my McDonald's. Never mind, look after my kids. Stop, or be a nurse.
35-year-old former labor and delivery nurse from Duxbury, Massachusetts. On January 24, 2023, Clancy asked her husband to run out and pick up takeout. While he was gone, all 3 of their children were strangled. 5-year-old Cora, 3-year-old Dawson, and 8-month-old Callum. Clancy then tried to take her own life by jumping out the 2nd floor window of her home. She survived, but now she's paralyzed from the waist down. Her husband came home about 25 minutes later, found her injured outside, and discovered the children while he was on the phone with 911. She's charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, and she's pleaded not guilty. Now, here's what makes this case different, and it's the legal part I want you to understand. This is not a whodunit. Both sides agree Clancy caused her children's deaths. The entire trial comes down to one question. Was she criminally responsible, or was she so mentally ill that the law says she can't be held responsible at all? Her defense is postpartum psychosis. Her lawyers say she was prescribed more than a dozen psychiatric medications. As a result, she lost touch with reality and was following a voice in her head she couldn't resist. Prosecutors say it was planned, that she waited until her husband was gone because she knew exactly what she was doing.
So, you've heard the case there. Listen, I don't like to judge. I've heard from women that postpartum's really bad, right? And she could have just jumped out of the window herself. That's what I don't like, right? Oh, it's really bad. You jump out the window then, innit? You see what I mean? If people want to harm themselves, that's their business, right? I feel really bad and it's got voices. Why is it always... And what you tend to find is they never finish themselves off. It's always like a half-hearted effort, right? Because the 3 kids, they ain't here no more. Oh, I fell out the window. Oh, okay then, but you're still here, right? That's what I do. Oh, I'm so crazy, but I managed to stay alive myself. It's like, how crazy was you then? Right? If you was that crazy, you'd have found a way to finish yourself off properly, innit? Right? Yeah? They always half cook it. She probably wasn't well. Most people who are on a madness like that aren't well, obviously. Yeah? Anybody who's committing them kind of acts, they're obviously not well or thinking straight, are they? So I don't know how that's a defence. Anyone who's done a serious crime like that, I mean, where's the next step? Right, with the grape ones. What do we say? Oh, he wasn't well. Obviously he's not well because he's going around stalking schools. Well, I think it's fair to say someone stalking schools isn't well. Let him out then. Have at it. It don't make no sense. Yeah? Sorry. Now, we've got some more context here and then we'll get to the internet shills. And these internet shills, and you'll know who they are because they're pushed everywhere. Right? If you were on the internet 10, 15 years ago, the real grassroots of conspiratardacy, they all got blocked and banned. Right? So now you've got likes of Candace Owens, everything now. They've turned it into slop. Slop-tardacy. Yeah? Conspiraslop. Everything now. Oh, she didn't do it. It was Big Pharma. There's not one thing on earth now that wasn't a big coup d'etat. Right? And that's problematic for me. They've what's the word they use these days? They've filled the zone. They've just turbo power slopped. Yeah? So now you don't know what is real anymore because everything's a conspiracy. Anyway, let's get some more context before we get into it.
Massachusetts, where the defense in Lindsay Clancy's murder trial rested its case. The 36-year-old has admitted to killing her 3 children in 2023, but Clancy has pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder because she says she was experiencing...
So bear that in mind quickly. She's already admitted she did it because you've got conspiratardacy idiots saying, "No, it was the father who did it." It's like, well, how does that make sense? This whole man versus woman thing. Oh, it was the man, and apparently the man was dogging. Right? But that's a whole nother. I do think people with kids and people who are married, cheating should be classed as adultery. I do believe in that. But that's not the point. Right? That's not the world we live in. Yeah? At the end of the day, if he was a dirty dog, you could have kicked him out. You should have kicked him out. Right? Or, if you're that butthurt, just hop out the window yourself. End of the day. Just hop out the window yourself. You can't hurt others. It's not right. Especially not innocent children. In fact, if he was such a dog, in my world, yeah, if you've had kids and married someone and you're just out here dogging, which is alleged to be what he was doing, I don't know, I haven't read into it enough, but if he was doing that, if she'd have rubbed him out, it wouldn't be legal in this realm, but I'd say, in my realm, I'd say, listen, you knew what you signed up for, Brody. Oops. That's what I'd say. And that's what the fucking book says as well, to be fair. Adulterers, man. You see that? But she didn't even do that one. That one you could say, well, it's one of them. But apparently postpartum, I had an auntie who had it, and I remember vaguely hearing stories when I was little that she was looking sideways at the kids. It tends to focus on the kids, like the kids are all your problems. If that makes sense. So it probably, listen, it's difficult, isn't it? I'm not there. It's not my reality, but what do we do? You see what I mean? What's the answer here? Right? Just let them out. Yeah? Again, it's hard for me to cast true judgment unless you've experienced something, right? Most of us haven't experienced that, so it's easy for us to say, "Oh, I'd never do that, bro." I'm sure she may have been as crazy as hell, but I'm pretty sure at some point she probably thought I'd never do that as well. But what's the answer? You just hop out, right? You just let them out.
Postpartum psychosis at the time. Jurors today heard from Dr. Philip Resnick. He's a forensic psychiatrist who was a key witness in the case against Andrea Yates, a mother who killed her 5 children in Texas in 2001. Dr. Resnick did a full evaluation of Clancy about 4 months after her 3 children were found dead in their home. He testified Clancy was, quote, frankly psychotic, and in his opinion, was suffering from bipolar II and postpartum psychosis at the time of the killings.
She was hearing a voice which was commanding her to engage in the killing behavior. And
the problem with these defense specialists, you have it on both sides. The prosecution and the defense, they just bring in shills, right? A defense guy will never hire someone who isn't going with what their case is implying. Does that make sense? Whatever their case is, they'll find some science idiot. Science isn't objective, right? There's always someone somewhere with some particular opinion. So it's worthless. The prosecution will have scientists say, no, she did it. Yeah? The defense will always have scientists say, no, she had the worst thing of all things and she couldn't help herself. It's almost a waste of time. Yeah? It's a tricky case. Ultimately, yeah? Ultimately, she's got to hold the weight, ultimately. There's no other way of cooking this. What do we do then? Just, you see what I mean? I don't understand it. Or she goes to a madhouse. That's the other thing. Because she could have just jumped out the window herself. At that point, right? Because she ultimately did end up jumping out the window. She did it the wrong way round, though. Jump out the window, then your legs are finished. Then you'll just be sitting there, right? They always tend to get their wickedness off and then botch their part. So they ain't, come on, you ain't that crazy, man. If you was that crazy, right? You could have finished yourself off properly. I'm not saying she should or shouldn't have done that for YouTube, but you get my point. You finish yourself off. What are you still here for? You tell me, oh, I'm really crazy, but I couldn't finish myself off. Yeah? Look at her face. Her face ain't all bashed up. So how crazy was she? How really hard was she trying? Because she tried fucking hard with the 3 kids, right? She managed to get that finished. So see what I mean? She was super crazy then, but then she forgot how to be crazy. Yeah? That don't make no sense. And the second floor, what's the second floor? You know you're going to survive that. In fact, I'll look at the odds now. The odds of, I could fall out of this window now. You ain't going to, again, you might end up busting yourself. I don't think you're going to really, the odds are super low, right? And you're in a kitchen, there's a bunch of sharp objects. So if you're really crazy and this voice you just couldn't resist to get rid of your kids, why didn't that same voice tell you to go in the kitchen and just Gordon Ramsay Max? It didn't, did it? It was like, oh, hey, bro. Self-preservation kicked in. And she thought, well, I think what happened was, she did the 3 of them, right? And then she thought, okay, no, this looks bad. How am I going to explain this? I know what I'll do. I'll make a little poncy attempt. I'll pop out the window. Oh, you see what I mean? There was a level of self-preservation there, not true craziness, unfortunately. Yeah? Now, let's say she went down and got a sharp object and went crazy with it on herself and she somehow survived. Right? You'd say, well, she was trying hard. She might actually have been crazy, but a second floor and hopping out of it, stinky attempt. Yeah? So what explains that differential? Because you were super crazy with them kids, man. You got the job done, right? But you couldn't, you see what I mean? I don't know. It's no good for me, unfortunately. And again, it's hard for me to comment. Right, the most I've had is probably some form of depression, and I wanted to hurt myself. Right, but again, I can't comment on psychosis because I've never had it. Right.
She did not feel any sense of control. She felt that she had to obey the instructions she was receiving.
Well, the prosecution called another forensic psychiatrist back to the stand. Dr. Avram Mack interviewed Clancy in April. Dr. Mack testified he had no reason to believe Clancy was ever bipolar in a manic state.
I can appreciate that she felt side effects and a degree of change from the medications that she took. So I don't know that that feeling or that belief is necessarily psychotic.
Yeah, and I also struggle. Like, people sometimes, they take steroids, right? And they say, oh, I get steroid rage and I can't help to do this and do that. It's all in your head, man. Right? I believe. All that stuff's in your head. Oh, I'll just turn into a madman. Because you best believe, when the police turn up, they're all quiet. You see that? You do. All them gearheads who are kicking off. When the feds turn up, they ain't got nothing to say. Right? They ain't got nothing to say. Yeah? They lose all that energy. So it's like, how crazy is you? How crazy does this... Well, we talked about it before, but gangsters and that. When the police turn up, they got their hands behind their back. Oh, sorry, boss. Got their hands up. It's like, well, you ain't a gangster then. You're not crazy. Right, and you're not a gangster. Do you get my point? So I just don't... It's not working for me. Now, let's get to the part where... So I've showed you the women who have raised $1 million for her. Then you've got this conspiratard slop SHILL, who's plugged into the machine. Anything that happens, she'll hop right on it and make it... Oh, it was big fun. It was someone else, right? Here we go, come on.
Do not make things better. And the
Wait there a minute. Here's Candace. Just talking yeah? Personal accountability is #1 in my book as well. I feel bad saying that, because maybe people really are crazy. Maybe they... I don't know, though. If it was possible to be that crazy all the time, you'd see a lot higher incidence of it. Rather than 1 in a million. You see what I'm trying to say? Right? I think other people feel that crazy, but they manage to keep it down and or harm themselves. That's what I think happens. Yeah? Oh, for fuck's sake.
The moment that she was arrested, the moment that it made the news.
Wow. It's not letting me play the clip. Come on, please.
Clear on this. The moment that she was arrested, the moment that it made the news, Lindsay Clancy is obviously not guilty. There are a fleet of doctors who should be imprisoned for what they put her on. I regularly speak out against Big Pharma. They get away with murder all the time. And
everybody else's fault. No accountability. It was Big Pharma. So what are you saying, Candace? Yeah? Does anyone on them prescriptions now have the excuse to do it? Yeah? And why aren't everyone on them prescriptions just bugging out? Why is it so rare, relatively speaking? It don't make no sense. Yeah? She probably was a little bit crazy anyway. Right? But listen, however you cut this, oh, she was crazy anyway and then the pills didn't help. Listen, she crazy. you can't be in civil society because you crazy as hell. Yeah? Straight like that. I'll tell you what to do. This is the great one. Oh, she's not guilty, bro. I'll tell you what, Candace, yeah? Have her living at your house. Oops. You see that? Let's do that. You're right, Candace, yeah? Oh, fucking hell, you're right there, bud. Absolutely. I tell you what, since she's not guilty, let her move into your house and hang around your kids. Let's see. Fair enough. You know what? If Candace is willing to move her into a room in her house and have her mingling around, have at it. That's a reasonable middle ground here. If that woman's innocent, give her. You got a big, massive mansion. Give her a room at your house. Yeah. And if Candace is willing to do that, I can agree. She can be under your care, right? And you can take it from there and it's your business then. That's a middle ground. I'm happy. If Candace really believes it, she can move in at yours. Right? But these ones, Candace is in a gated community. Right? In a big gated house as well with 10 men on the doors. So it's easy for her to say, yeah, let her back in. She didn't do it. Because it'll be someone else who has to wear it.
In this case, they are getting away with the murder of really her 3 children, but also completely destroyed her life. When Lindsay Clancy, in my opinion, is not guilty. She was put into an intentional psychosis when she probably just needed to give her kids away for a weekend to get better, but they constantly give you these drugs that do not make things better. And
her husband was there though, right? Her husband went out to get food. In fact, Lindsay organised sending her husband out. So that shows planning as well. Oh yeah, nip out. See what I mean? That's a bit... Don't tell me. The voice told her to plan it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, come on. Oh no, the voice actually planned. The voice told her first to tell her husband to go out. So it's not even like she was on her own. There's been some cases of that. A black woman years ago, probably I saw a documentary on it 30 years ago. She ends up putting one of her kids in an oven, but she had no family support at all, and obviously she was suffering with this, and she just bugged out. She had the husband there. How good was he? Was he useless or not? I mean, he's around. He's there. Right? Why didn't she say, oh man, my head's bugged out, she could have just left the house, right? She could have just flat up left the house and disappeared from the kids, and the father would have had to have stepped in, right? She could have crashed out that way, just got in the car, drove to a hotel and went missing somewhere. So it's not as simple as, oh, she just needed a break, bro. Yeah? And besides, even if you do need a break, you know what? That's what you got to damn kids for, to tell the truth, right? You don't know break with no kids. I don't know what people think this is. It's the opposite to a break. Yeah? Your life's finished. It's about your kids at that point. Yeah? Too many cats be smashing Instagram and seeing pretty baby photos. Forget about the photos, man. It's the crying all night. It's the sleepless nights. It's the constant need. That's what it is. It's not Instagram photos in a buggy. You cats is slow as hell. You got no IQ. Hey, bro, let's take some pretty baby shower photos. That's the last of your problems. Them baby shower photos, right? It is hard work. It's hard, thankless work, for sure, right? It's going to be stressful. But I'm not saying she probably had someone else going on as well. Either way, though, you can't be doing that, and you damn sure can't be blaming Big Pharma, in my opinion.
Tale of 10 pharmaceuticals that she was on is absolute madness. Absolute madness. I made my thoughts clear on this the moment that she was arrested, the moment that it made the news. Lindsay Clancy is obviously not guilty. There are a fleet of doctors who should be imprisoned for what...
And this made me laugh as well. I made my thought... Because do you remember when George Floyd happened? Listen, George Floyd wasn't some saviour, right? But he was killed by a policeman. And the reason that's relevant to Candace went around saying, oh no, George killed himself with the Moody Fentanyl. Yeah? The Fenty. Oh no, it was the Fenty that got him. Now listen, anyone who knows opioids or Fenty, right? When you're ODing off the Fenty, have you seen them, man? You're not shouting for 30 minutes with a man on your neck. You're just going to pass out. Yeah, you're gonna go over and be just stoned, right? You're not walking around. No one doing an OD off an opioid is walking around for half an hour, 40 minutes and shouting out. You're just not. I think they use something similar to put you to sleep. It puts you to sleep, and your lungs stop working, your heart stops working, and that's it. After a period of time, you're out of there, right? Anyway, right? Let's assume the police guy didn't rub out George Floyd, which is what Candace says. Oh no, he OD'd. Let's assume that. It only takes one Google search. Check this out. George Floyd began using opioids after struggling with chronic back pain. Oops. What's the point of me telling you that? Why did I never hear this from Candace? Why didn't Candace ever say, oh, it was Big Pharma that rubbed out George Floyd? So wait there, George Floyd, which he does. Oh, George Floyd's wholly accountable because he was on the fentanyl. Even though it derived from back pain, it derived from prescription meds. Why weren't she blaming Big Pharma then? Oh, it was hop on, hey, look, he's a black man, he should be responsible and accountable, which he should be. But we're not going to do this switcheroo now. Yeah? She took the meds, if it's the meds, and there's a reason she was taking meds as well. She obviously weren't feeling right. No one goes to take meds who's feeling right. Yeah? And doctors are limited as well. If you're going there saying you need help, what do you want them to do? They're not gods. All they can really do is issue you pills. But don't tell me. Candace has probably got some hippie herb rubbish. Hey bro, buy my herbs. She probably got an ad about to drop. Don't use big... Listen, Big Pharma has its flaws. But I can attest in my own life, I've had people in my family who have had psychological issues. And the tablets have helped. Yeah, it's took the edge off, for sure. That's documented. There's people in my family who've been leaving the house early in the early hours of the morning. They've took the pills. It's not perfect yet, but it's better than it was. I can be at peace knowing my people ain't going to be out there on a madness on the street, at least for now. Do you see what I mean? So it's not a straight cut case of, right? You see what I mean? There's a middle ground. Yeah? And I don't like these shills who hop and flop all over the place. It was good for Candace's pocket to jump on George Floyd. She weren't interested in Big Pharma. And to be frank, antipsychotics, they are what they are, but opioids are really a big problem. They're really a big problem. No one really ends up on antipsychotics unless you've got a big problem. Does that make sense? They're not just handing them out. They was actually handing out opioids for everything. They wanted you to get hooked on them. They loved handing them out. Yeah? So there should be more beef with Big Pharma with them opioids than the no one's hopping onto antipsychotics for the sake of it. Do you get what I mean? Doctors ain't handing them out for banter or to turn you into an addict so you come back. You've gone there, you've got psychological issues, they've got a limited amount of options here, and they give you some. Right? Simple as that. What else is a doctor supposed to do? The alternative is the doctor tells you no. Right? So Lindsay Clancy's gone there. Hey, I need some pills, I'm bugging. I've got postpartum. They give you something. The fact she's got 10, she probably went back a few times. What were they supposed to do? Tell her no? It's a tricky one. And I don't see how you blame Big Pharma here in this example, personally. Yeah? And if we're doing that, let's everyone with a script, everyone with a prescription, let's just say they can commit any crime then, right? Oh, but look, Big Pharma did this. Right? Anyone taking any pill, just blame Big Pharma. Because most pills, even aspirin, if you look at the long leaflet, in very rare cases, they can have extreme side effects. So you see what I'm trying to say? So where do you draw the line here? Yeah? She's bugged out, and she's responsible at the end of the day. Like everybody else who bugs out. There's no other way of doing it. Right? Because otherwise you've got to let everybody out who's on a script. You see that? Everyone who's been prescribed a medication, you've got to let them out because they went crazy too, no doubt, in whatever crimes they was doing. It's messy and don't make no sense to me. Now, talking about I don't even know what these people are on, given it raising them. It's diabolical. She's raised $1 million. She's raised $1 million. I don't understand it. It's like, I can't believe this. What? Even if she was sick, right? Even if she was sick, okay. She made a mistake, right? It still don't need $1 million. You see what I'm trying to say? You've still done something wrong, mistake or not. People must have too much money to waste. I don't see the angle here. Well, I'll tell you the angle. The angle is tribalism, right? People are so charged up and tribal maxed. Like I said earlier, if any white person does something, there was a video about a year ago. There was a white woman talking to black kids and she was saying the N-word to them, right? Unacceptable, uncivilized. She raised $1 million. Yeah? So the tribal whites hopped on her and bailed her out. Black people the same way, right? There's cases of that. They do something wrong and blacks just hop on it to support their... It's like, the masses are finished, man. They slow as hell. I don't care what colour. Wrong is wrong. White, black. I'm not sending no money in it. There are genuine cases of wrongful convictions, which should get more light. But again, for me, that'll go across the board. It wouldn't just be like, oh, well, my team's half-baked, so I'm going to look for cases. No. Injustice is injustice. And justice is justice. It shouldn't be... But that's what you're observing here. Women they've been programmed like every other sect has today, right? This is the man versus woman sect. Oh, the man, bro. It's the man, bro. The man did it. And he was cheating, which is wrong. I'm not going to lie. It's wrong to do that when you got kids, right? And you're married. But still, she don't even say it was him. Why do I tell you that for? This is how crazy the conspiratalis has gone. Lindsay Clancy admits to killing their children. So why is there an online groundswell blaming her ex-husband? That's what they started doing. Yeah, they started saying it was him, even though she admitted to doing it. Like, what? Man, bad. It's like that. Listen, of course, there's bad men, there's bad women, Right? That's not what this was, though. She said she did it. She said she bugged out. She didn't say he did it. Fucking hell. It's diabolical. Which leads into the whole raising $1 million. They're funding her just to try and get back at men, essentially. Yeah? This tribal mentality is, if any woman does something wrong, it was a man. Right? You see what I mean? It's like that one. So we'll just support her just because she's a woman. Rather than looking at the merits of the situation. Her own lawyers don't deny she did it, but say she should not be held responsible for her actions, arguing that Lindsay was suffering from postpartum psychosis and extreme mental illness at the time. She is suing her healthcare providers, alleging medical malpractice for their failure to adequately diagnose and treat her. Mental disorders? Listen, it ain't that simple, man. Yeah, modern science, it's improved to some extent, but don't forget, it was only 100 years ago they was drilling in your head. The mind's very complex, we don't understand it, right? That's documented. We ain't really got a clue what's going on in there, if I'm honest. Hence, it's not as simple as, oh, it was malpractice, bro. They haven't got a clue, they're just pissing in the wind. You could do a Google search and have as good chance of solving your problem as a doctor can. They're not miracle workers, they're guessers. Now, if you break a leg, anything physical, a doctor's pretty sharp at it. But the brain is too deep. It's way too deep, right? And I think also in society, across the board, across all different tribes, accountability and responsibility has been lost. It's always somebody else's fault. Every single person, right? Someone who comes from the hood. Oh man, I didn't have any money growing up. It's like, well, now you're in jail. Now you definitely ain't gonna have no money, and you ain't gonna have no freedom, right? So it's not, what do you want, a medal? Oh, my dad wasn't around. Or it's like, well, okay. So what does that mean? You're going to make it worse for yourself, right? You have to take, whatever's happened in your life, you have to take accountability and responsibility for it and move forward. You can't be blaming everybody else, which is what they do here. Oh, it was the medical doctor. Because if you was that sick, yeah, if you was that sick, you could have been phone 911 and said, hey man, I'm bugging. The same way you phoned your husband or told your husband to go out and get a takeaway, man. Why didn't you pick the phone up and call 911 and say, hey man, I'm bugging, I'm having real bad thoughts? Yeah? You see that? Or you could have left the house, hey, I'm bugging as hell. I'm just running up out of the house and getting out of here. You could have done that too. Instead, I have to believe, even though I haven't experienced postpartum, I have to believe you have agency. Listen, maybe my karma will come and one day I'll be bugging too, right? But listen, if I do end up bugging, it's one of them. Lock me up. End of the day, don't treat me no different. Lock me up, man. I've lost my head. I've bugged out. I can't be, right? If I can't be trusted to be around my own kids, what am I supposed to do? Just beat the case and walk out? Absolutely not. Yeah? And we should be drilling it into society. Yeah, there's no bailouts coming for nobody. You come correct and you come accountable, right? That's it. And to some extent, I'd love to, I don't want to tempt fate, but I'd love to try it. I just can't believe ever not knowing what I'm doing. Damn sure not to that extent. I can imagine hurting myself as such, because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of being skint. I can imagine doing that. If I ain't got no balls for it though. I can imagine doing that. But why am I going to bother somebody else for? Right? You see that? Yeah? That's what I don't get. That's what I can't emphasize with. If she was bugging that hard, she could have been jumped out of the window herself and said, listen, I can't take this no more. These thoughts is crazy as hell. And hopped out of there. She didn't. Yeah, she plotted up, planned it. Yeah, you go out. I'm going to get this done. Right? I can't understand that. I can't. I don't understand it at all. Myself. Okay. Let me know your thoughts, people. I believe we're done here. Smash the like button and the hype button if you'd like to. And I'll catch you, man, on the next one. Johnny Bosh.